know what's going on either, to be quite honest. I really don't. Hey fam, it is your girl IJF. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're returning back, welcome back. Before I get started, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and also follow me on my other social media platforms if you would like. Honey, I did not know what to do with my hair today, so this is why I look like bag lady. Let me stop. I'm here to talk about a serious topic, and that topic is accountability versus shaming. Now, this topic came to mind to me because I've been seeing a lot of, headlines in the news concerning BLM, Black Lives Matter, and Tamika Mallory. And of course, I'm talking about these two women because they've been accused of fraudulent behavior, scamming, lying, theft, just everything. And before we get into it, I do want to define the word accountability first. And of course, I think we all know what shaming is, but I do want to define the word accountability first before we move on. Definition of accountability: the quality or state of being accountable, especially an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility or to account for one's actions. So basically, accountability is accepting what someone has said about you, good or bad, and just saying, okay, I'm gonna take note and hopefully I'm gonna change, right? With that being said, I'm going to show you guys interviews of Patrisse Cullors and Tamika Mallory and their responses to what people have been calling them and saying about them in their organizational work. The first video is of Patrisse Cullors at the BNC YouTube channel.
Thank you, Mark. I want to just start by saying something that's really important for people to hear. And that's, I have never taken a salary from the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. And that's important because what the right-wing media is trying to say is the donations that people gave to Black Lives Matter went towards my spending. And that is categorically untrue and incredibly dangerous.
So you haven't taken a salary. So your income that you use to make whatever purchases you've made have come from outside income. You've mentioned on your IG, and other people have talked about speeches, studio deals, book deals for your book when they call you a terrorist. Your income has not come from working directly with BLM, GM.
That's correct. Yeah, I'm a college professor, first of all. I also am a TV producer, and I have had 2 book deals. My first book that came out was a New York Times bestseller. And I also have had a YouTube deal. And so much of all of my income comes directly from the work that I do. But I also want to say something, Mark, that feels really important. Organizers should get paid for the work that they do. They should get paid a living wage. And the fact that the right-wing media is trying to create hysteria around my spending is frankly racist and sexist. And also, I want to name that many of us who end up investing in homes in the Black community often invest in homes to take care of their family. So homes that I've bought directly support the people that I love and that I care about. I'm not renting them out in some Airbnb.
So let's talk about Patrisse Cullors. A lot of things she said in this interview I agree with, and some things I just didn't really, I don't know, I wouldn't say it didn't make any sense. Hold up. Let's just talk about it. So with Patrisse Cullors, she did mention how she feels people who are activists should have a living wage. I 100% agree with that. Human beings who go out of their way and become so emboldened and passionate to do this type of work is very dangerous. As soon as you make any type of echo about the oppressor, you become a target. You become a target. Fred Hampton is the greatest example, a modern example that I can think of. I can think about others too, but why bore you guys with dead bodies and martyrs? But the point is, anyone who does this work, yes, you are very much in danger. You are 24/7. When they know the way that you look, the way you move, the people that you hang out with, where you go, you are a danger. So yes, you should be able to go home and have a place to rest your head, even if that head is being surveillance. But point being is, I agree with her. And I agree with her because I remember when Angela Davis came to my school to talk, someone had asked her during the Q&A session, what are your thoughts on Colin Kaepernick and the whole Nike deal? Do you think he should be making money or working with them? They're a capitalist company, da da da. And she said, well, yes, I definitely think Colin Kaepernick should get paid for his activism. And I feel like people don't listen to people like me anymore. They're going to listen to people like, they're listening to the Kaepernicks. They're listening to people like Kaepernick in the world because he's popular. He used to be a football player. He's a part of mainstream pop culture. So that's what she said. She said she definitely agrees with people who are known and in the world. In this, she made it very clear that people who are in the pop world should be able to participate in this activism work and also get paid. I'm not a big fan of celebrities trying to speak for us because I feel like they're far removed, so not so much. But I guess I get where she's going with it. Basically, she's getting older. They're not going to know her name forever, so someone else should take the torch. Whatever. Boom. Back to Patrisse Cullors. She said that she is a professor, which she is. She has credentials. She is not Dr. Umar. She really is a professor. So she's making money as a doctor, aka a professor. She's making money through, commercial deals. She's making money through TV deals. She's making money as a speaker because she's known. So I definitely believe that Patrisse Cullors could have accumulated over $1 million over the years of her work. Absolutely. Maybe in the beginning, not so much. That's why she was such a Marxist, communist, or whatever you call it. That's funny because no communist or Marxist country or person really lives that life. Even Buddhists, who are supposed to be the people who are not attached to anything, they have a certain lifestyle in the modern day society. So anyone who tried to come at her for saying, oh, aren't you a Marxist? Cut it out. No one lives in this capitalist world and not participating in capitalist behavior, aka living in a house, being sheltered, buying food, buying a vehicle. Everyone cut it out. But what I didn't like is it seemed like she was trying to say, which she didn't say, I don't want to put words in her mouth because I respect her. She was saying, well, I have a mom to take care, I have my son, I have a brother, I'm just like a sister, girl. And that's the thing with a lot of us who come from homes where wealth is not always given or passed down. And unfortunately, when you have a little something, not even completely rich, but when you have a little something, everyone looks to you for help. Oh, well, your brother will be okay if somebody just paid his little cable bill. Oh, your sister will be okay if you just help her pay her rent bill. Oh, your uncle will be okay if you just, looked out for him and gave him a car. So for me, it seemed like she was trying to say, even if she wasn't getting paid, even if she didn't have money from other resources, right? Like her being a professor and having TV deals, it seemed like she was trying to say, if I did have to get money from the BLM Global Network, I would. And if I did, I don't think anyone should be mad at me because I'm taking care of other Black people in the community who are close to home. I'm okay with activists making money because I don't want no activists sleeping outside begging for money. No, it doesn't work that way. It shouldn't work that way. If we can praise celebrities and actresses and football players, activists should be right next to it. But girl, it seemed like you were trying to make excuses on why you should have a little more than what you need. You know what I mean? 4 homes, they're not all hers. One belonged to her mom and her brothers. How many homes does a family need? You know what I mean? And how much are you spending on it? At the end of the day, the woman says that she's not taking the money from the Global Network Fund. It's her own money. And I agree with that. If it's her money that she is making on her own, aka other resources that's not the BLM organization, I'm okay with her splurging on herself. It's hers. It's hers. Let her have it. But I think there's also a little confusion too when it comes to BLM and the BLM Global Organization Group. So there are 2 BLM groups. I know it sounds crazy. So there is the Black Lives Matters Global Network, which is Black Lives Matter Global Network is by the state. So the government is involved in it. And anytime the government takes hold of a grassroots organization, it gets messy. Because how does the government, the state who does what it does to us, have the same ideologies as the people? doesn't make that much sense, but whatever. I mean, I lost hope in Patrice Cullors when she made this damn video.
And welcome to Fuck White Supremacy, Let's Get Free with the Hammer Museum. I want you all to step in wherever you are and do the electric slide with.
And these type of photo ops. Girl, I mean, something in the milk ain't that clean, but one thing I won't tolerate is people coming for these women in a vicious way, because people put her address online. That is unacceptable. Unacceptable. And then again, the BLM, Black Lives Matter, is a small organization that is occupied by the mothers of some of these slain children. So, okay, so now I'm going to show you an interview with Tamika Mallory at the Breakfast Club, which was done today, I believe.
You know, I can't allow it. I know the truth. And most of the people that I work with every day, they know as well. It's all distraction tactics. Like there is an actual attempt to distract and destroy the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm not talking about the organization. I know them very well. Love Sister Patrice, love them all. But I am not a part of Black Lives Matter, the organization. My organization is called Until Freedom. However, we get grouped in together, and people don't care what organization you're with. They're trying to destroy the entire movement. And unfortunately, they use people who look like us to be able to do it. This is not new. This whole COINTELPRO, the tactics that have now changed, or not changed, but transformed to or evolved into trolling online, right? Because there was no online before.
She made a good point saying that even when she went to those type of organizations like BT and Cadillac, people still, there were some people who, there were people who were saying stuff like, well, when you got there, why'd you say what you said at the BET Awards? Why are you pulling out the president? You know, then people were saying, well, you should have been there anyway. You know, you're an activist, shouldn't be in front of this. Number one, Tamika Mallory has been doing this work for such a long time. I remember being in college when she was a part of the women's movement march, in DC, and how she and a few of her friends were not going with the white girls who were going to the women's march in DC. They had their own protest because the white women, a part of the women's march, were being a bit rude and nasty to the women of color, obviously. So, first of all, people always get Tamika Mallory confused. She's not part of BLM. She has her own organization that she's been a part of for years now. And again, I've known about her for about 6 to 7 years now. So she's nothing new. She's not here to grab money. But like she said, she's going to get her coin, as she should. Again, anybody who's putting their life on the line deserves their coin. I will say I enjoy Tamika Mallory's response a little more than Patrice Cullors. Tamika Mallory was making much more sense because she was saying, yes, I am okay with you guys holding my feet to the fire and telling me I need to be accountable and responsible for my community. And I'm happy she said that, because I do feel like we should hold these people accountable. And I agree with that part. I agree with Tamika when she says hold me accountable, because I feel the same way. That's why I open up my comments and I keep even the nastiest comments on my videos, because this world doesn't operate on one thinking or one ideology. That's okay. I want to learn from people. I may not agree, but there could be a middle ground, or maybe you can take in something that I said and vice versa, and then from there we can work it out. But with Patricia, she wasn't trying to say that. But anyway, back to Tamika Mallory. She was saying how she wants to be held accountable because she is doing this fight for the community, aka people who look like her, and I appreciate that. And she also says that you know, BET is an opportunity for her to get to the non-bougie people. So people who are not always reading or listening to podcasts, people who are still in the inner cities, you know, watching TV and watching YouTube videos. So yes, she's going to try to find a platform to connect with those people too. Like, this is what I'm saying, this is what I'm trying to achieve. When it comes to the black community, it seems like the only people who are speaking for the black communities are always people who've been to college or have a certain ideology about what blackness should be, respectability politics, blah blah blah. For me, I personally want to hear stuff from working class people. That's why I'm not a big fan of celebrities stepping into this whole BLM talk or this activism talk. I'm not saying that being a celebrity is taking you away from your blackness, but if you are asked to come to these companies and organizations that we should just, you know, just throw away and start over, you know. I just feel like if celebrities are asked to come to these big tables and ask these people for help, like organizations and certain networks, right? I feel like it should get people who are working class people, who know how it feels to deal with certain prejudices and discrimination on a daily basis. When you're a celebrity and you have money, you are circumvented from certain things. Your money never will completely guarantee you from any type of prejudice and, you know, harm when it comes to skin tone, genders, you know, religion, etc. But if we're being honest, people who do have money in coins, they get to get away from poverty. They get to get away from food deserts. They get to get away from certain environmental situations, aka Katrina. That's why I'm not a big fan of celebrities. But unfortunately, pop culture is pop culture. They bring a lot of attention to things that someone like you and I can't. Nonetheless, let's talk about accountability now, because I feel like a lot of us on the internet, even I've done it. I went to Tamika Maui. I was like, shame on you, Cadillac deals, da da da. I'm gonna admit, I was on Twitter saying that. But now seeing her interview and knowing who she used to be when I first got introduced to her in college, I'm just like, this woman is just trying to make money, which is fair. I'm okay with that, because we all need to eat. And she also is going through a lot. You have some people who agree with her, some people who don't. And it's hard to say, look, rip me apart, because that's what people do. They rip you apart. But my thing is, now, if we're going to be holding people accountable, what I want to know is, who are we really holding accountable when we're mad at them? We're mad at people like Patricia and Tamika, right? My thing is, besides canceling them and ignoring them on the internet and paying attention to them, is that really going to stop them from still making a hustle? So that's the first question. Who are we really holding accountable? Because if we don't have access to her, do you think this really affects her if we say, oh, cancel? And how do you do that if you're not in, how do you do that if you don't have access to these people? You know what I mean? How do you fully hold them accountable besides going into their timelines and flooding them with nasty messages? And then thirdly, do we have proximity? Do we have proximity to do this? You know, so those three things: how, who, and basically where with the proximity. How do we make sure that we do hold these people accountable so they can change their ways? And if we do hold them accountable, how are we going about that? Is it daily meetings? Is it weekly meetings? Is it monthly meetings? Is it seminars? Is it Zoom calls? What are we doing to make sure that the fight that we're doing is going to be worth something in the end, aka to me and you and the rest of us who look like us? And how do we do it? And how do we do it in a respectable way? For me, what I saw happening a lot when it came to these women is a lot of people were shaming them, putting their address out, calling them certain names, coming for their looks and their weight. And my thing is, shaming them is still not going to stop them from getting the bag. Is there a confusion somewhere? Do we not understand that? These women are both in certain spaces that even if they do get called out in a certain manner, the hustle is still going to keep coming in because they're already established, they're already known. Somebody might not agree with them, but somebody else will. It only takes one yes to get the bag, you know? So my thing is, instead of shaming people and coming for their looks and giving out their addresses, which I personally don't agree with, because I always say this, if anyone knows me personally, and if you've seen my past videos, I'm all about being accountable, even with myself. I don't ever want to get too big for my people. I always say that. I don't ever want to get too big for my people. If I ever do anything in the future that people don't like, yes, tell me about it, but can we be respectful about it? And can people who care about me tell me for real in person? If you know me in real life, don't be coming at me sideways online. You know what I mean? I feel like that took place when it came to these women. And I'm not saying we shouldn't hold each other accountable. Yes. But putting someone's address online because you're mad at them is not the way to go. We all can be canceled. I can be canceled just because I like Beyonce. I can be canceled because I look the way I look. I can be canceled because I feel like people of color issues is really not a black issue. Because we all got our own plate to carry, sis. I can be canceled basically based on that ideology. So we have to understand, instead of canceling people, and I think we all should read this book, We Will Not Cancel Us, where it talks about how we should learn how to repair relationships instead of just eradicate them and get rid of them. And I'm not saying we should be forgiving and, you know, open to everything and everybody. No, I'm not here for racist people who are trying to kill us. I'm not here for people in our own communities, aka certain black men who want to harm us and put us on World Star Hip Hop. I am not here for the sexualization of young black girls and using them for commodity reasons. There's a lot of things that I'm not here for, and I'm not willing to sit at a table with somebody for. There are certain limits that I have. No. But what I won't accept is us just throwing away people when we don't agree with them. You can't throw everybody away. That's impossible. We're not the first people on this earth who have not agreed with the opposite groups or our counterparts. We're not the first and we won't be the last. And when I think about people that I look up to, like the Bell Hooks, the Toni Morrisons, the Audre Lordes, these people all have talked about in their writing about giving space to people to grow and to learn. A lot of this information about canceling and activism and making money with activism and also trying to stay alive, it's new to a lot of us because a lot of us have access to the internet, and you know, we have access to things that we didn't have access to unless you were in, you know, schools and paying these top bucks with YouTubers here. I don't want this video to be long, but you know, hey, thank me later. To conclude, what I'm trying to say is I am not in the category or in the space where I always want to attack Black women in a very docile way. Again, I'm a Twitter kid. I'm a millennial. Of course, I'm going to be on Twitter trying to drag somebody here and there, you know, or be like, be a little shady. But I don't want to bully anybody. I don't want to put anyone's life in harm. I'm not that type of person, in person or, you know, or virtually. I'm not here to put anybody's life in danger. Shade, yes, we love a little shade, honey, but to publicly come at women who look just like me and not give people space to be human and grow and learn from their mistakes, that's an issue. Also, with that being said, I do want to include this short interview with Samir's Rice's mom, in which she was saying how she didn't agree with the BLM and why this whole debacle came to begin with in the first place.
Ms. Rice, I know you and Ms. Tamika Mallory haven't met, and I'm curious to know, is there anything that, I mean, if she reached out to you, like, is there any way that y'all could work together? Is there any?
No, it's no working together because she has created a platform. What type of First of all, what we gonna work and do? Because she already created her platform, and guess what? My platform was given to me from the death of my son. So tell me what type of work we gonna do, because I ain't interested in no movie deals and book deals. That come to me every day. I have to turn away that every day. So tell me what we gonna do. Because if we ain't going up to the Congress, remember Ben Crump and Stephon Jackson went into Congress, and what did they do? Can anybody? I'ma wait. Tell me, what did they do? This is the thing. We need to be having conversations with the Supreme Court. We need to be having conversations with the Congress.
Now, for me, Samira Rice is correct. She's correct. She said she doesn't really have much in common with BLM people because she already lost her child. And it's so hard for me to say because, so for her, she's not trying to get a Cadillac deal or be on TV and all that other stuff. She says she's been offered movie deals numerous times. And Samira Rice's mom is a warrior. She is not about, let me just get this bag and shut the F up. She's like, she wants to go to the Supreme Court, and that's where I'm with her. $1 million, $1 trillion is never gonna bring her baby back to her. Someone who she carried in her womb for months, breastfed, saw say their first words. Do you know how meaningful a human being is compared to money? You know how meaningful someone's baby is? That nurturing relationship someone has with their child. Where can these people come into the middle and meet with one another and say, what can I do? What am I doing? Because she says, and she also mentioned that she's like, y'all using my dad's son's name to make money. And it's true. When people say BLM, we think about the little slain boys that were killed, most of them young children, unfortunately. And what can we do in the future? BLM is an organization, but organizations must end, and they end with wins such as laws being passed, certain abuse being stopped, certain funds and monetary benefits being given to people who are oppressed or discriminated against. So, you know, that's my point. And I guess to conclude this video, what I'm trying to say is, one, I would never participate in ever harming a Black woman virtually or in person unless my life is threatened myself. But I would never purposely harm another Black woman. So the way people were going off with Patrice Cullins and Tamika Mallory, I didn't agree with. Again, I'm here to drag you a little bit, but I'm here to drag, but never to put you in danger, love. And I, you know, of course, if I knew them personally, I would never do it publicly. You get what I'm trying to say? There needs to be a certain type of respect that we have for one another. You know, I get it. We're a part of this millennial, crazy pop culture world. Now, we're very techno savvy, but let's respect people who look like us, because a lot of people don't. So let's do it for each other. And secondly, Samira Rice's mom's point. She doesn't care about the money and the glitz and glam. She wants black children to stop being killed. And unfortunately, if they are, what's next? What are we doing? What are we doing? Are we going to keep hiding these officers and people who kill black people and put them in remote areas where they still get money from government officials? I mean, Zimmerman, he got to walk away free and is living his best life signing t-shirts and bags of Skittles and sweaters. That's weird and that's disgusting. But only in America can you do something like that. Anyway, fam, I apologize if this video was long, but I just had to get this off my chest because I'm just like, maybe what's going on with this whole BLM? I looked up to BLM. What's going on? Like, I'm confused. I'm confused. And as a young woman myself, it's just like, I want the best for people who look like me, but we need. But then again, this doesn't always guarantee the same mindset, so we gotta also keep that in mind. But anyway, fam, I'm done. I'm gonna shut up now. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and also follow me on my other social media platforms. And I can't wait to see you guys next week. Bye. Mwah.